Ned.
Eu sou melhor que o Michael.
Eu sou melhor que Michael.
So it's hard, bro. We have our last question. Hello guys, I'm so happy because we are here with Roger Clark, the actor behind the character Arthur Morgan, and it's a very pleasure to have you here in Brazil and now in our channel Sun in Play, alright?
Thank you, son. It's a pleasure to be here. How's everybody doing?
Oh my gosh, I'm so nervous because this is crazy, man.
You're alright, boy.
I play the RDR2 and I have many great moments playing this game. So now I'm here with you. It's a pleasure for me, alright?
Thank you. It's great to be here.
And it's your first time here in Brazil, right?
This is my first time in South America.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's amazing. I haven't gotten to see much yet, and I don't know if I will. We're heading out tomorrow night, but so far the food's been great. The people have been so warm and friendly. I'm overwhelmed.
So you try some Brazilian food?
Yeah, I tried, what do you call it, picanha?
Cool.
That was
That's
good.
the best one.
I'm going to try and do some barbacoa before I leave as well.
And I saw yesterday on Twitter, on X, alright, that you asked to Brazilian followers to teach you how to speak 2 sentences in Portuguese.
Yeah, that's right.
One of them is, you are alright, boy.
You're alright, boy. Yeah, how do I say that again? I got it written down, but I don't remember. Give me a second. Você está bem garoto.
Yeah! So cool, man.
Yeah.
And the
But
second
other
one,
that was for Ned. That wasn't for me. He was asking me how to say Red Dead is better than GTA. Yeah, he was too embarrassed to ask you though. So he asked. I asked for him, and he got he figured out how to say that as well.
you figured out? Okay.
Yeah.
And I have another quote that you can teach to Ned in Portuguese.
Oh yeah.
That is, Ned,
You're Ned.
eu sou melhor que o Michael.
Eu sou melhor que Michael.
Isso! Yeah!
Yeah, all right.
Eu sou melhor que o Michael.
What did I say?
That you are better than Michael.
Yeah, of course. Yes. Eu sou melhor Michael. Not in Portuguese though. I don't think.
That's so cool, man.
No, Ned's the best, man.
But you're cool, bro.
He paved the way. Those
Okay.
GTA 5 guys, they really paved the way for Red Dead. It was awesome.
Ned is almost a Brazilian. you know?
Yeah.
He came so times to Brazil. Can you told us a little about your career? How you started to acting?
Well, I started out in theater.
Right.
I went to drama school in the UK. I grew up in Ireland. I was born in America. I grew up in Ireland. I started drama school in the UK, and I did theater.
Right. I read that.
I love theater because the audience they're right there, and you will learn in real time. They either clap or they don't clap, and you learn fast what works and what doesn't work. So I was grateful to start out that way because it helped me then later on with theater and film and video games.
Here is a good place for actors that wants to start at cinema and TV.
For me, anyway, I think theater is the way to start. Yeah.
And how you get that perfect accent that you are not American? Hey, you are born in USA, but
Well, I was doing Shakespeare, and one of the guys in the dressing room, his dad was from a place in Arizona called Flagstaff.
all right.
Not his dad. It was his grandfather. It was his grandfather. And his grandfather was a little old cowboy, and he would do impressions of his grandfather. And I thought it was hilarious. So I started copying him. And then when I started auditioning for Arthur, there was a few auditions. I think I did 3 or 4. I evolved it a little bit more Southern slipped in. But my buddy, Flagstaff, Arizona, that was the beginning of it.
And that's so perfect because everybody believes that you are from Arizona,
Good.
for example.
I fooled you.
And the RDR wasn't your first game that you played as an actor, right?
No, I had done a few things before. I had done just voice acting in a bunch, but my first one doing mocap was it was a Vietnam zombie shoot 'em up
Really?
called Shell Shock 2.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We will search this to to show the public?
I think it was on the PS2 or maybe 3. But yeah, it was okay.
So you made this a long time ago, right?
Yeah, it was like 07, I think.
Oh my
2006,
gosh.
2007, yeah.
That's so cool. And how did you end up at Rockstar Games?
Well, when I first auditioned, I didn't even know it was for Rockstar Games. I didn't even know it was for Red Dead. I knew it was Take-Two, but I didn't know.
Do you remember the name of the project that they?
Yeah, it's
they
the
put
same.
out?
It's the same name of every project when you're auditioning. It's called Untitled Video Game Project.
Okay, that's a cool title.
Because they don't tell you. They don't want you to know. You know, they don't want you to know. It's only after you sign the NDA they'll go, okay, so this is what it actually is.
And do you remember which year this happened?
2013.
2013.
Yeah, my first audition actually might have been December of 2012, but I didn't start working until summer of 2013.
And how long was the recordings?
5 years.
5 years, long years. That's so cool,
Yeah.
man. You mentioned that you didn't know in the audition that you are making for a game, RDR2.
No, I didn't know. I had a few suspicions after the second and then third auditions, because the second audition was at Rockstar, and then they kept asking me to wear cowboy boots so they could see my walk.
Really?
So then I'm thinking, this is Red Dead, isn't it? But I didn't want to ask.
Okay.
I didn't want to say anything.
But you already know the series, right?
I was suspicious, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now you become the best
Well-
Western character in the world.
Well, up
you
with
know?
John Marston. Up with John Marston, yeah. He's the OG.
I'm just being fair, okay? And how was your relationship with the Rockstar professionals in that time on the recordings?
It was wonderful. You know, they're such a talented, great bunch. You know, there's no weak link. Everyone there brings their A game. It was a joy to work with them. You know, they have such attention to detail and quality. And, you know, we spent a long time on it. And I know for a fact a lot of other studios wouldn't have spent the same length of time. But GTA 5, obviously, the success of that gave us a little bit of breathing space.
Yeah.
But, you know, Take-Two, they're a company just like every other company. And, but I was really appreciative that they let it take the time that it needed before it was released. Because we see so many games now being released and they're not quite ready yet. And some amazing games, but they're still not quite ready yet. I don't think Rockstar have done that yet. You know, I don't think Rockstar, maybe I'm biased, but they're one of the few studios out there that hasn't made a bad game.
Yeah, that's why it takes so
Ping
long,
Pong.
right?
Ping Pong was pretty good. Yeah.
And you have any contact with the House Brothers when you're recording Red
Never.
Dead? Never.
He didn't speak to me for 5 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, me too.
No, for 5 years I thought, and he'd be chatting away to Rob, and I'd see him be all friendly with Ben and stuff, and then he'd walk straight past me, and I thought, man, am I going to get fired? You know, I just thought, maybe I guess he just doesn't like me. But like maybe a couple of months left in the job, he did it again. He's chatting away to Ben, and I'm just standing there like Billy No Mates, and I was feeling a bit awkward. And Ben then just goes, there's your lead. And Dan turns around and goes, oh yeah, I've been avoiding you. I'm like, no shit, man. You know, no shit.
Oh my gosh, man, I never imagined that.
No, but then he said, I didn't want to get to know you because it would confuse the Arthur in my head.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Is it?
I don't know, but
It
it's...
gave me a complex for 5 years, but you know what? There could have been a lot worse answers, I bet, right?
This is a kind of crazy, right? But I feel sorry about that, bro.
No, it's all good now.
Because you're a cool guy, you know.
Well, you know, he was such a fantastic writer, and he still gave me one of the best jobs I ever had. So,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about the backstage of the Red Dead? Something that you can share with us?
Well, like most of it was performance capture, you know, and most of it we worked side by side with the rest of the gang, and I got to know so many actors, and you know, the actors who played the gang members became a family just as much as we were in the game.
Right.
Because, you know, we're under NDA and we can't talk about it with anyone except each other.
Okay.
So we were all on the same page. We all...
Neither if you're a family, you can say anything.
I mean, I told my wife.
Okay. And your kids, I know that you have kids, right?
My kids weren't old enough to understand, so
Okay.
I did not tell them.
And now how they feel about that his dad is Arthur Morgan. How they do that?
They're still not allowed to play it yet.
Okay, cool.
They're 9 and 11. So I think maybe 12, 13, I'll let them play it. But, who knows? I think they're kind of bored of it now. They'll be like, oh, this is Dad's game.
Man.
It's like, they take it for granted, They're more interested in Fortnite and Gorilla Tag. Oh my gosh, Gorilla Tag. They love that one.
If Rockstar Games made a partnership with Epic Games, maybe we can get Arthur Morgan on Fortnite. So
Sure.
they will play with you. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's hard, bro. We have our last question. I think that I have one question to you because one of the ends of the RDR is so sad, And RDR have a long story, and the player make a connection with the Arthur Morgan. And one of the ends, we have the Arthur's dad,
Mm-hmm.
And how was for you when you read the script and find out that your character will die?
So the scenes where he gets TB, that was pretty early on. That was like the first month of shooting. And it was very specific. It says Downs coughs in Arthur's face. So then I went to our director and I went, well, what's that all about? And he's like, oh, yeah, you get TB. And I was like, oh, okay. Because I knew what happened to John.
Right.
Spoilers. I didn't know that was necessarily going to happen to Arthur too until he told me that. But I really admired the way that it was the same but different.
Okay.
Because with John, you don't see it coming. It's this shock, But with Arthur, he gets diagnosed in like chapter 4 or 5, and you see it coming, and it's this slow burn, and then eventually it does come. But we were working 5 years on it, like I said, and so for about 4 years, I knew he wasn't going to make it, but I didn't know exactly how until we started shooting them.
And that was the hardest scene to recording for you?
I was nervous. I wanted to do it justice. I wanted to make sure I did it right. So I was a little nervous about that one, yeah.
I think, bro. In my opinion, the RDR deserve an Oscar, but the games don't compete on Oscar, all right? But you win a lot of prizes. Can you told for us about the awards that you win?
It is a real honor. It's a real honor to have your work recognized. But to be honest with you, as much as I love that Game Award trophy in my house, when I meet the fans and they tell me what the game means to them and what it's meant for their relationships with their father or their grandfather, or how it's brought people together, that for me is the biggest.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
You made part of our life.
It was an honor. Thank you. Thank you for
cool,
letting me. Thank you for giving me a chance, because I know you were like, Arthur, who? I want to play as John.
Oh my gosh, man. So just to finish, told for us if you're working on some new projects that the fans can see soon.
Yeah, so I got one coming out later this year. It's called Rosewood.
Okay.
I play a few minor roles in that. That one's all voice acting. That was a lot of fun. If you ever played Monkey Island, It's kind of like Monkey Island, but as a Western,
Cool.
There's another one coming out next year, I think. I'm not sure, but that was with Brian Deckard, who you might recognize from Detroit Become Human. His wife, Amelia, plays the lead in that, and I play Ricky Peril, a nightclub owner, and that's kind of a cyberpunk vibe. I think it's called Evolutus Duality.
You want me to keep a secret? That's gonna cost you.
And then there's a few other games I can't talk about.
Oh, don't worry. And where the fans can find you on social networks?
I'm on Twitter, X, rclark98. I'm Rolling Raj on Instagram, and you can find me on TikTok, Roger Clark Actor, and I also am on YouTube, Roger Clark Actor.
Yeah, thank you so much, Roger.
Thank you, man.
Big pleasure to meet you, bro.
Thank you. Obrigado.
Oh my gosh.